Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my Sims 4 Covenant Legacy Challenge. My name is Ronald the Simmer, and this is Season 3, Episode 13. Queen Moria was in a nursery as she took care of her children. Her father, Prince Victor, helped as there were so many infants around, 4 to be exact. The twins gave the queen a handful, as she had already 2 other babes on her shoulders, but she was now happy nonetheless. One thing that did bother the queen, however, was the twins' eyes. They both had the purple eyes of their father, but the outer layer was black, same as hers. All of her children had it, but the twins were supposed to be different. The queen was concerned. Her vampirism was gone, but if her children were born with these dark eyes, were they really? She put it in the back of her mind, of course, but deep down she was angry, betrayed even, but she kept her composure for the upcoming wedding of her cousins. In Mora's mind, she was gearing up to eventually talk to Jaleesa. However, it was a big day for Prince Saik. It was his wedding day, and though he's supposed to be happy, he couldn't help but feel grim. All he could think about was how he didn't want this, and the rejection he faced from the one he loved, the pain of knowing that Al had twins for the queen, and him becoming her favorite. Al got what he wanted in the end, Moira, but not Saik. He would spend the rest of his days as a royal consort to the Son of Coven, and by some strange divine reasoning, his mother and Lady Jaleesa were able to move up his wedding day. Gaia and her saints smile, he mocked. But just as Saik wasn't having the best of times, same went for Orlin. She was a beautiful bride, no doubt, and her mother would even comment that. But she didn't want this. Not now. She made her opinions to her mother very clear. Jaleesa wanted legacy, however, to see a generation be born from her daughter. To her, having a grandchild to carry on the Son of Coven meant more to her than anything else. To see her line continue meant defeating the traitor odds. Others probably think that Orlin doesn't deserve a prince, but having Saik meant Jaleesa got the best of them all. A son to a seasoned princess, and Lady Han to Queen Moira, the only living daughter to Queen Orlin. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Right now, guys, we are at the wedding party of Prince Saik and, of course, Royal Lady Orlin. As you guys seen in the mini movie, there were a lot of things that were happening. One uh, thing, for example, is the queen slowly realizing that her children, her twins, might not actually be full-on witches. They might actually be hybrids. And she realized this because the twins did age up, guys. I aged them I aged them up off screen, and they both surprisingly. I'm so surprised by this, but all of Queen Orlin's children, not one of them inherited their black hair. I don't understand that. I was expecting at least one of the twins to inherit it, but no, they inherited their father's hair. I'm hoping maybe her later children would start inheriting her black hair because I kind of do want to see that black hair live on. It's like the only other hair color we have within their families. um, yeah, the twins they age up, and both of them have the silver hair of their father, but they also I did randomize. Of course, as I always do, I randomize their eye color. They both ended up having purple eyes, but one twin was different from the other. One twin had whenever I do like the eyes with the dark outer layer, I always roll twice. So like if it land, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the meter ended up having the purple eyes with the black outer layer, and Dioneira ended up having regular purple eyes. But since we both know that they are vampires, I decided to just decided to give both of them purple eyes with the dark outer layer, like to make more sense for the princess and the prince here. And the queen noticed that because of course the queen, she has red eyes, and she inherited this eye color, of course, from her father, but it's still like a witch color. I mean, it's still witchy because, as we all know, the witches have like feline like eyes, but um it's like a mixture between her mother and her father's, but she definitely did inherit her father's eye color. And that was a clean sign for her and Minerva that they were both hybrids. So it only makes sense that all of her children who were born before she took the quote unquote cure, they all had those same eye color. They all had the red eye colors. Now one of them didn't have the red eye colors, but now Prince I don't know, Summer. Get out. Close my door. You know what you're doing too. But Prince Demeter and Princess Deianira, they both inherited their mother's purple. I mean, their father's purple eyes. But because they are vampires, I decided to just give them the dark outer layer to make it more apparent. And the queen has definitely noticed that, and I think she's a little upset by this because I feel like even though she's not having these vampiric urges anymore, um, she definitely feels a little bit. She feels a little bit betrayed in a sense because she feels as if Jaleesa may have lied to her about her true intentions, and she's starting to overthink a lot. I don't think Moira's a paranoid person, but she's definitely insecure, and so she overthinks a lot, and maybe she feels as if Jaleesa is doing this maliciously because of what they did to her mother. Now we all know Jaleesa isn't. She's not doing this on purpose. Jaleesa very much thinks she cured the queen, but that's not what Moira is probably thinking in this moment, which is sad to say. But she's not going to say anything right now because this is Jaleesa's her daughter, her cousin Orlin has married. This is her cousin, her uncle's daughter. And so she's trying to be respectful as possible, and I think she's gonna keep it to herself for right now until she knows for certain if her sons if her son and her daughter are vampires. And if they are vampires, I'm gonna say she's gonna know by the time they turn into toddlers. If they are vampires, she's probably gonna be very upset with Our Lady Hand here. I mean, which I don't blame her for, because she's been trying her whole life to get rid of this mark on her life, and nothing has been working out for her. And let's just get the queen to dance a little bit. Why not? Who's in here? No one. But yes, guys, I did get Orlin and Prince Saik married. I do have Lord Nolan here, the father of Prince Saik, and of course the husband to Princess Celestia. We also have, of course, again, guys, Princess Nara. I did give her a bit of a adult makeover. Now that she's a princess, she needs to look the part. She's an adult princess, so I just gave her own new look, and she's gonna be the future High Lady of Star Castle. So I'm just getting her, I'm getting her used to becoming an adult. Where is her mother at? Celestia, what are you doing down here with the children? Oh my God, I'm so irritated with these infants. Something's always wrong with them. Let me go ahead and get her to come back in here. But yeah, we also have Princess Celestia. Of course, this is her son's wedding. And we have Prince Amir here, which is now the new father-in-law to Prince Amir. Jaleesa, I know what you're about to do. Don't go down there to those children. You need to stay in here to conversate with the other people at the party. But yes, guys. Oh, we also have a Prince of Ladislaus here, the grandson of King Vlad, and of course the cousin to Queen Moira, her first cousin. And of course Minerva's betrothed, guys. Oh, look at her. She wants to talk to him. Oh, a sweetheart dance. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Look at her doing her own thing. She's making the initiative to want to talk to let's why isn't she doing it? Let's just get her to stop this. Let's see what happens. And Moira just left again. You know what? What can I do? I'm gonna get her to listen to this music, and then I'm gonna turn off autonomy. Yeah, that'll do the trick. Hopefully this time she'll leave the children alone. Vladislaus, are you going to take care of the babies too? I don't understand why they keep leaving. Just listen to the music deeply. Oh, I think I know what's going on. He had probably left this room to dance. Huh, that's interesting, guys. So the two of them left the ballroom to dance privately. Maybe they just wanted a little bit of alone time. Like they probably felt crowded in the room, and so maybe Vlad wanted to. Oh, no, it was definitely Minerva because she's the one that initiated it. So maybe Minerva wanted to get a little closer to Vlad to get to know him a little bit better. Maybe she started to like Vlad. Maybe like she's liking the idea of actually being the wife to Vladislaus, which is interesting. They're out here just dancing. Let's just get them back in here, cause that was interesting. Like she literally took them outside of the ballroom to just dance. They probably talked about a little something. Oh, a little romance is brewing again. LOD and Victor all over again. That's kind of funny. Maybe Victor sees this with his daughters, with his daughter, and seeing like history repeats itself with his nephew and his daughter. That's so weird to say. But yes, guys, yes. I'm excited though. Wait, I just realized Nara isn't in her party wear. My love, come on, get in your party wear. There you go. Okay. So yes, guys. Is it? Oh wow, it's 12 o'clock. So I am gonna go ahead and get Orlin and Sag to go ahead and try for their first child. I wonder where they will. I wonder where they will do this at. I do have a shower here. I need to make a room on the lot that allows that the people can try for baby with. I need to make a room on this lot for that. I mean, we have one in the harem, but that's strictly for the queen and her concubines. But we need another one for like, maybe if we have weddings at the castle, like right now, we have a wedding at the castle, and we need for somebody to consummate their marriage. Or we need to consummate their marriage. Maybe I can make a skinny room right here. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to see. What I'm gonna do is, guys, I'm gonna come right back. I'm going to go ahead and get Sayek and Orlin in a frisky mood, and by the time they are ready to try for a baby, I'm gonna come right back before it happens, and we're gonna get Orlin to take a pregnancy test because we gotta see if Jaleesa's wish will come true because it's very sad about what's going on with Orlin. She's being forced into marriage as a teenager by her mother because Jaleesa is scared of her line dying out. I feel like that's really the root of this whole issue, guys, is that Jaleesa is terrified of her line dying out. There's literally very few heirs within her family. Very few. And somebody mentioned this. I don't remember who it was, but you know who you are. Someone mentioned this, and if we go to the Sunneth family, their family tree is pretty small already. Oh my God, Luca is now an elder, but their family tree is pretty small already. And if we're going by the Sunneth family line, there's only two living females who can carry on their bloodlines. And Jaleesa is, of course, the head of their family and coven. And then she only had two kids with Amir. Someone also pointed out that Amir may have a fertility problem because of the tinkering that Giselle did with basically making him age faster than most children, which I can also see happening because they do have two kids. And I remember when Jaleesa was first starting to have children, she was struggling really, really hard to get pregnant. And her first kid was Samira, and then she had Orlin. She was also upset with Amir because she gave him a son. I do remember that whole plot line. So Amir and Jaleesa, they never really had the best of marriage. But the point is, Orlin is the only daughter to Jaleesa. She didn't have any other daughters. This is the only daughter she has. And if she doesn't have any daughters, then her line has to revert back up to her sister. And her sister, guys, she has two sons. She just had another kid, Alan Sunneth. I didn't name him, but I like the name, so I'm gonna keep it. But we have Master Gabriel, and then we have Master Alan here, born to her human husband, Kason Sunneth. She hasn't had any daughters. I did get her pregnant in hopes of her having a daughter, but I have like a 2 limit pregnancy on mistresses, and Aurora has given us 2 pregnancies, and she's had 2 sons. So there's not going to be any daughters born from Aurora. So the hope is on the family. The family's hope is on Orlin, basically. And if basically Samir never has children with the queen, which he might not ever does because he also failed in getting the queen pregnant, which could revert back to his father's infertility. He also failed in getting the queen pregnant. So any children, he doesn't have any daughters that can pass on through him from his mother. And Orlin is really up to her. I mean, she does have her brother here who has children of his own, but Luca has been married twice, and Luca has had 3 sons with his first wife, which was the the mother serenade Dean. He had Bennett sons, 3 sons. So the Bennett line died out with them. And then he had another son recently with Lady Clara, the immortal. Um, Master Dorian is what they call him. His son, Master Dorian. He has had zero. Um, he has had 0 sons. So technically, Sir Arwen or Princess Arwen, she could become the heiress to the Sunneth family if something, if those males never have children within their family lines. But I do find it interesting that basically the Sunneth family is on a very very thin string. Okay, guys. So I did get them to a point to where they can now try for a baby. So he's about to ask her basically. Also, I didn't even ask you guys. What do you think about Prince Sayek's makeover? I did give him a makeover, like I said he would. I was gonna fix him up for his wedding day. And I think he looks pretty handsome. I think Fantasy Esque said a while back that she saw potential in Sake when he was just a child, and he was going to be a very handsome man when he grew up. And I can agree with that. He does look very handsome now. I didn't really like his old look with the hair in his face. I don't know. It didn't really fit him in my opinion. But I gave him I gave him long hair because I kind of imagine Sake as flamboyant. I don't think that he's a masculine person. He's also high maintenance, which I was like, oh my god. So I kind of imagine him as being like a spoiled prince, pretty dramatic. I wouldn't say overly dramatic, but he's a little dramatic, and he's also flamboyant in my opinion. I might even give him like a feminine walk, because I do believe that he is not interested in women. Um, he's only doing this romantic stuff to do his duty as a husband and prince to Orlin. So, um, I need to go ahead and change his last name really quickly. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and um give him the Sunith. I decided to just go ahead and give him long hair because he just reminds me of a very flamboyant man. And I like that about him. He's just like, he's a little bit different from the other males within the queendom. I definitely do think that L is a bit masculine, but I feel like Sag is, I feel like he's definitely more feminine than most men. Flamboyant. I wouldn't say he's like totally feminine, but he's a flamboyant man. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these two to try for a baby. Now, one thing I do find interesting, guys, is that say, sorry if you guys can hear a motorcycle in the background. I'm literally right next to my window, so it's gonna be a little noisy. But yeah, it's just, I find it very interesting, guys, because Prince Sig, um he's in love with Al. He has been in love with Al for a very long time, since the war of Moira and Arwen. He has been in love with Al, and Al had feelings for Sayek at one point. I feel like Sayek used Al as a placeholder because he couldn't have Moira at the moment. But yeah, it just didn't work out, and now he's like, I feel like his world and his heart came crushing down when he heard the news that, you know, I'm pretty sure he's known for months that the queen was pregnant, but officially when she had the twins, it was like, oh my god. And then he also knows that the queen has made Al her favorite. So, I think when he found all of this out regarding the person that regarding about the person that he loved, I feel like he kind of just like grew up. you know he was always a person that tried to, let's get her to take a pregnancy test. She's gonna be our first teen pregnancy, which is so sad, but you know that's what her mother wants. Oh, Edith. But yeah, like, oh, it's Sienna's birthday, which is nice. It's just really sad how Sake's life has turned out. I'm hoping that him and Orlin will come to a common ground in the future. Like you know, I don't think that Orlin likes Sayek. I think that she's fond of Sayek. I don't think that she dislikes Sayek, but I don't think that she's in love with Sayek. I think that Sayek isn't, we all know that Sayek isn't in love with Orlin, but I'm hoping that they can have like a common ground and somewhat of a decent marriage, maybe like a lavender marriage, you know. But we just have to see in the future. Right now, Orlin hasn't been treating him any type of way. She's also pregnant, guys. So wow, this is our literally our first teen pregnancy. But Orlin Sunneth is pregnant. I'm sure she will tell her mother about this very, very soon. Let's actually get her to change inside her wedding outfit when she does tell her mother. I think that's nice to put on. So go ahead and change it to your wedding outfit. But she's gonna go ahead and tell Sig he's gonna be a father, guys. That is crazy. But Orlin is now she's now with the child, and her and Sake will of course move out the castle. He's no longer going to be staying at LOD Castle or Star Castle. He's going to be going to Sunneth Castle, the Sunneth Castle. Which you guys have not seen at all, I don't think. I think I've seen it one time, but I definitely changed the castle since then. I don't think I'm gonna go over there. I will come back for her birth though. So she got pregnant on Saturday, so she's likely going to go ahead and give birth on Tuesday at 2 a.m. So I'm gonna try to make it there by Tuesday, and yeah, let's get Jaleesa to come up in here. And yes, she did try for baby in her mother's room. I thought it was the most appropriate thing, as this is her child, and if she wanted her child to get married at such a young age so badly, she deserves to let her children, let her child have her wedding night in her room. She can get the sheets clean and the room tidied up. You know, it's not no problem. It's no problem. But she's gonna go up here and she's gonna she's probably anticipating to know what's going on. I'm sure she'd probably be one of the watchers. And she's gonna go ahead and tell her mother the good news. She's probably coming up here asking like, "What? How did everything go? Are you pregnant?" Um, and I think she's gonna go ahead and tell her mother the big news. And Jaleesa's gonna be very happy and proud because this is what she's been wanting for a while, somebody to carry on her legacy. And she's been seeing everyone getting pregnant, and her daughter's just been sitting there. So this is probably something that she's very excited about, which I'm happy for Jaleesa, but I'm also very sad for Orlin. Let's see. Slip through my fingers from people, person, lifestyle. Uh, but she's gonna be a grandmother, guys. The Sunneth line will continue on with Orlin, hopefully. Okay, guys, so we are currently back, and right now we are celebrating the birthdays of Princess Sienna Odina and Princess Hera Odina. Um, oh, yeah, she's celebrating, which is good. Which is good. I'm excited to see how Sienna is going. Oh, she's not gonna look that different as a toddler, so it shouldn't be that extreme. But I'm excited. I'm excited because now Hera is going to be an adult, which means she's going to be moving out soon. The queen is still going to try to look out for her sister for a little bit before she does move out, but she's going to be in the process of moving over to Sirius Church, the High Church, and I'm gonna give it like 3 days before we officially move her out because the queen wants to settle a few things with her. Like she has to first off get married. Um, and then I think just kind of prepare her for life basically outside of court. She's gonna be in a religious court now. Why do they always teleport in this little land area? I gotta put bushes right here or something. Cause when I built right here and I created the new rooms right here, it kind of did mess up the water. So I'm gonna have to fix this somehow because every time an adult basically grows up, they just teleport on this little land right here for no reason. Okay, but Hera, guys, she is a macabre sim, which is also a dangerous trait, but she's also unflirty. So she's not the most flirtatious princess. But we can go ahead and randomize her next trait. Hopefully it's not a dangerous trait, but we will see what will happen with the princess. She's self-absorbed. Let me come right back, guys, to make sure that this isn't a dangerous trait. Okay, guys, so I'm back, and it looks like being self-absorbed is not a dangerous trait. I wonder why I didn't make it one. I guess you don't necessarily have to be self-absorbed to want to steal a throne, but it is interesting that Princess Hera did turn out self-absorbed. I wonder why. I wonder why she's a little bit of a narcissist. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know. But um, let me just get these out the way. Our princess here, the mother seer, is a little bit self-absorbed. Maybe having all of this power as a mother seer has kind of went to her head a little bit, and she's a very powerful figure in the queendom now, guys. She holds a lot of power. So maybe the fact that she does has kind of went to her ahead a little bit, and she probably thinks she's better than most people now. Let me just get her to teleport in here, and let's see little Princess Sienna, guys. This is the child of Caleb and Moira. Ooh, she's adorable. I'm gonna have to switch her eyes over to the ones that I had on before. They probably are that. I just probably had the overlay of her father. I probably overlay the eyes over her father's natural eye color. But yes, this is how the Princess Sienna looks. She's adorable. I can't wait to give her a little bit of a makeover. I'm gonna be right back, guys. I'm going to give her a makeover. And when I do, we'll get into more storytelling with our ladies. Okay, guys, so we are back, and this is how Princess Sienna looks after her makeover. I think she's so adorable. She, of course, has the colors of a second born princess because Sienna is actually the second born princess to Queen Moira. But she's so adorable, isn't she, guys? I love her long, luscious hair. She had this hair when she aged up, so I just kept it because I think it fits Sienna. She's so pretty. Um, but yeah, this is how our princess looks. I'm excited to see how she of course ages up. Let's just get her to grab something to eat because she is a little hungry and she's about to pee or poop herself. I don't know which one is going to be. But today we do have the prayer rites. The queen is constantly checking on her children. I mean, a good mother she is, but my God, is it annoying. Um, let's put Princess Diana back in her crib. Um, One thing we are gonna go ahead and do, guys, is that we're gonna go ahead and get the queen to go ahead and start the prayer rites. So let me go ahead and turn autonomy off. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go ahead and come right back because I've noticed that what I do is, guys, I linger a lot on things, and which is why my episodes tend to be long. Like I do a lot of things on camera, and I'm trying to reduce that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut, and I'm gonna come right back whenever I get everything set up inside of the prayer rites room, or the prayer room, I should say. Okay, guys, so we are back, and we have all of our ladies, and of course our royal family within the rites room, the prayer chamber, I should say. I don't know why I keep trying wanted to call it prayer rites room because I guess the holiday is called prayer rites, but yeah, we're in the prayer room, guys. And right now, the queen, of course, is lighting these candles in remembrance of their goddess and, of course, the saints and the passage ones. So, of course, this is like a day of prayer for them. They are in the month. This is a month of like, oh no, it's not. It's not. It's not. Because winter is going to be coming up in about 2 seasons from now. Yeah, we're still in summer. We're in the last day of summer, actually. Um, let's get Persephone to meditate. Can you not meditate, Persephone? Persephone, there you go. Um, so whose birthday? Oh, it's almost Arwen's birthday. I was like, oh my god, we just had a birthday. Whose birthday it is today? Um, but yes, guys, we are having the prayer rites. We are having the prayer rites happen today because, of course, we didn't really do this. Oh, no, we did. I just don't think we really had the chance during the war to really like do prayer rites. It was like in the beginning of Moira's reign, we didn't do this at all, and it was because we were at war, so they really didn't have time to like do have a full day of dedication of praying to their goddess. Let's also get the queen to toss a coin in there, and appreciate the statue of their goddess here. Victor, let's get you in a more appropriate outfit. Let's see. Do I have any other athletic? Yeah, we have this one. So let's just get him in this one so that he doesn't be out here looking like this. Let's get the princess Orlin to also toss a coin in here with her mother as good luck. Now, a few things I do want to talk about, guys, is the princess Orlin, of course. Oh, it doesn't look like she can appreciate the statue because of all of the candles around it. Let's just appreciate the angels then. How about that? We can get the princess to also do the same thing. Celestia can come over here and appreciate as well. Um, who else needs to appreciate? Jaleesa. So let's get you to appreciate Jaleesa. Minerva, you can come over here and appreciate, as well as Hera. So we're gonna get our ladies to go ahead and appreciate. Then we can go ahead and have our males here come over here and light some of these candles so that they can partake inside of the prayer rites here. Um, in remembrance of their goddess and saints. Um, let's get Pluto to come over here and relight these candles because there's not enough candles to go around. And we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with Prince Victor. So yes, I do want to discuss Princess Orlin, guys, because something that did happen off camera was the fact that Orlin and her grandfather, Prince Victor, have kind of their relationship was really good, but look at it now. Princess Orlin was fussing with her grandfather during the party or whatever, and by the end of the party, when I was getting Princess Orlin and Sayek, Princess Orlin, Royal Lady Orlin and Prince Sayek, to try for their baby, consummate their marriage, uh, they ended up developing a difficult family dynamic. Um, yeah, so they have a difficult family dynamic, which is very, very interesting that this ended up happening. Um, and my guess is, guys, is that maybe Princess. Um, okay, so there's a few things that happen with Orlin. She, of course, has ruined her relationship a little bit with her grandfather. I mean, they're not in the red; they're still in the green, but they're not as close as they used to be. They're kind of distant from one another. But she also developed a fear of being inferior. So if I come over here, oh, there we go. Princess Orlin never succeeds at anything. How was she ever supposed to make it in a world when everyone is doing better than her in life? Now, I'm not going to take this as a sign that, everybody's doing better than Orlin. I feel like what happened was, in my personal opinion, I feel like the proximity to her vampiric grandfather has kind of made her a little distant. But I think, guys, the proximity towards her vampiric grandfather kind of made maybe Princess Orlin panic a little bit. And I feel like she's kind of sensing. I mean, she's already been knowing that there's like this aura of looking down on vampires within Syrian culture, within witch culture. It has definitely been passed down to her. It's ingrained in her, actually, just because of how her mother is. Um, the queen needs to low-key use the restroom, but look, we need to pray, so we're gonna just cheat that bladder really quickly. I hate cheating needs because I like to um do them myself, but for times like this, I will use them because I'm in a process of storytelling and I do not want to be interrupted. It took me forever to even get them in here because the queen was so adamant on taking care of her children, so I had to let her be a parent, and I let her go ahead and take care of her children. But then we can go ahead and get the prince and the princess to kind of come near their mother and pray to their goddess. Jalisa, I think she would, I think she would try to stay close to the queen. Celestia can come this way. Persephone over here. Hera. Um, Now why didn't you be thankful? It's okay. We can do it later. These Sims, they don't listen. Thankful. Be thankful. Yeah, we already got those two set up. You can go ahead and take you a little bit of a nap, Sienna. But I feel like the proximity towards her grandfather has kind of made her, kind of feel inferior in a way because she's realizing that, hey, I have vampire blood within me. And she's been arguing with her grandfather all day. So it must be because of the vampiric blood within her. She feels she doesn't want to feel like, everybody has told Orlin from a young age that, hey, you are pure, you are half angel, half witch. They try not to talk about the vampire side, but you are a pure blooded witch. You have the blood of the angels and the witches within you. You have double the power. Really triple, but they don't like to talk about the vampire side. They're a little prejudiced over here, but um yes, um they from a young age, she's always been told that she's this and that, she's that she's better than a lot of people. These two just look at how close they've gotten. Okay, so Minerva is actually into Vladislaus, is what I'm gathering, guys. She's into him. She's gotten close to him, or she may not be into him, guys. It could be a very friendly arrangement here. They could just like each other's company, but not see each other in a romantic way, which is very possible. Come over here and meditate, Moira. Please listen. Okay, so maybe I should reset you because she doesn't listen. But anyway, Hera, meditate. Thanks. Now pray. Pray, everyone. Pray. But yeah, she's been told from a young age that she's this and that she's that and that. Oh wait, did her fear go away? It did go away. That's interesting. But in my head, it did not go away. But she has a fear of being inferior, guys. That's kind of crazy that it went away. Yeah, she has a fear of being inferior, and I think it's due to the fact that everybody has been gassing her head up and telling her, hey, you are the purest of them all. You're a half witch, half angel, and to have a vampiric grandfather is just like, oh my god, how am I related to you? um I mean, and you would think that she would act this way towards her mother, but she doesn't. And let's get you to the meditate because yeah, I've been told you guys. Oh, I forgot to pay the bills, and our lady stewardess is not here. That's why I've been forgetting. Anyway, we're gonna handle the bills in a little bit. But yeah, like she just has this fear of inferiority, and it comes from the fact that she is a vampiric. And I think that oh my god, 7 days from aging up. Time is moving by fast in The Sims. But Orlin is she has this problem, but I've been noticing that she's just not been getting along with a lot of people. She's not fond of Lord Samir. She's not fond of her uncle, her great uncle Prince Amir. She's not fond of the recently married Sayek. She's not fond of her half sister's father, Prince L. She's not fond of her uncles, Prince Lucifer, and she's not fond of her second cousin. Well, her first cousin once removed, Vladislaus. She's not fond of Orlin, Soneth. Uh, she's not fond of a lot of people. She dislikes a lot of people. And she is not close with neither of her siblings that were just born. So she is it's giving that, she may not be paranoid. That's not one of her traits. But Orlin, it seems she's like very much isolating herself. And I think the queen is starting to notice that, and maybe she might start to look to see whether or not if Orlin needs some friends, like some ladies in waitings. So she might start to very much soon, maybe by next episode, gather her a little bit of a friend group so that she can have some friends. Because she's noticing that her daughter is very much isolating herself. I'm surprised that she hasn't been getting into arguments with her mother, but she's been taking all of her doubts on her grandfather here, Prince Victor, which is so sad because I think Victor really loves his family, and the fact that his granddaughter is being so rude to him probably hurts his feelings quite a lot. But that is definitely something that I did want to discuss. Orlin is very much growing up to be a spoiled, rotten little princess, and she is taking it out on her family members, some of them at least. Let's see. I'm gonna just turn on autonomy and let them go ahead and walk around because why not? um, but yes, guys, it's interesting to see a lot of these things happening the way they are because Orlin is, I don't know, she has the characteristics. She's an evil person, of course, but she has the characteristics of being a person who very much is paranoid. And I remember, I don't know if I would randomize that trait, but I know someone did say like, imagine if she was paranoid, because she's like already making so many people dislike her. She doesn't really know a lot of the children of her generation because she hasn't met any of them. But most of the kids that have been born in her generation have been her siblings. So she really hasn't had time to make enemies with other children. So I wonder what she will do if she ever does get that chance. There are like two other kids around, um, like sons and daughters from the Crescent family, and I think even from the Son of family, Gabriel, who might become a friend of hers. I haven't decided yet, but there is a lack of heiresses around right now, so she really can't make a lot of friends with women who will become future high ladies, or children, little girls who will become one day women who will become little girls who will one day become women who are high ladies. So there's a lack of those going around right now. Um, but I do get the sense that Princess Orlin, guys, she is going to grow up being somewhat religious due to the fact that her mother is, which I do find interesting. You know, there's a lot of evil people who are religious, so um, you know, it's very much on par. I feel. I'm not saying that all religious people are evil. I'm saying that there are people who are evil who are religious and they use religion to their advantage. And maybe that's what Orlin might do. She's definitely um, she's definitely a princess who will one day become a princess of Moonstone, the future queen. So we'll just have to see how her life will go, and things of that nature. Now here we have Lady Jaleesa, guys. So as we all know from the beginning of the episode, the queen was very. I'm not. She wasn't that upset, but she was somewhat upset because she has essentially discovered that possibly her twins are not. They have vampiric blood within them, and from her knowledge, that vampiric blood was, it was getting, it was gone. You know, Jaleesa came up with a cure, and wow, her relationship with her husband is in the gutter. Jaleesa and Amira do not have a relationship whatsoever, which is crazy. You two are married. But yeah, she definitely, I'm sorry guys, my Apple Watch is going off. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Jaleesa definitely does believe that she did create this cure for the queen, but I feel like, you know, what can she do once the queen does confront her? I don't think the queen will confront her this episode. Of course, she will eventually talk to her. I think she's waiting to see what will happen with her son and her daughter before she actually does confront Jaleesa. But it definitely is like a thing that, Jaleesa doesn't know what's going on. I feel like, um the spell went right in her eyes, but the queen is definitely thinking that this is like some betrayer stuff going on. Like, did you try to mock me? Like, Moira is not an evil person, guys. I think that she's a pretty good person, especially after what she's been through in her life. It has basically humbled her. And I think that I think she's a very decent person. At least she tries to be. Nobody's 100% good, but she's a queen, guys, and she is a queen with people who do not want her on a throne. And though she won this throne by the war's right, she's legitimately the queen. Her sister Arwen was a queen for a very short time, but she is not going to be known as a queen by history. Moira will be. Her throne was usurped from her for a while. Probably was for a couple years actually. Um, she eventually won her throne back and reinstated as the official queen of Sirius. But, despite all of this stuff happening, Moira, she does realize she has to be a strong willed woman. She's no longer a teenage queen. She's an adult queen with 5 kids. She has 5 kids to protect, 5 children to protect for the future of her queendom. And so the reason why I'm saying all of this, guys, is because even though Moira I feel like she's a sensitive woman, a caring woman. I think she's going to try to intimidate Jaleesa, maybe even remove her from her council when she does eventually find out that her daughter and her son are not fully witches. When she finds out they have vampiric blood within them, I think that she's going to be very irate, and very direct with Jaleesa, very upset with Jaleesa, and she might remove her to show her strength because you, in the eyes of the world, you created a cure that did not work for me. And knowing the Sonneth's backgrounds of them being traitors, it'll look very bad on Mora's part. It'll make her look weak if she sat there and accepted the outcome that her vampiric blood cannot be washed away from her genetics. It'll just look really bad for her. And I think when she eventually does find out about whatever is going on with the twins, she's going to make the next course of action to find out the next Lady Alchemist. She's gonna probably remove her aunt by marriage, from the council, um, and it'll probably be very bad for Jaleesa because I mean, she literally her family's on top right now. If you think about it, guys, I mean, she created this cure for the queen. The queen is cured of her vampirism. Um, she kind of put the Sunnets back on the map. Her daughter is now pregnant and married to another prince. They just had a grand wedding at the castle. So the Sunnets are everybody's kind of forgetting about the past of Giselle a little bit. It's not lost to everyone's mind, but they're kind of forgetting about it because Jaleesa is doing much better than her mother was. She's not being scheming, kind of not. Uh, she schemes in her own ways, but she's not that much of a schemer. But yeah, um, it's just gonna be crazy to have that happen. I'm gonna get her to stop meditating because they've just been sitting there forever, and I do have autonomy on. Everybody just been sitting here. Yeah, I have autonomy on. They just don't. They just want to sit here and pray. Moira's just so religious. And then there's Celestia and Jaleesa up in here trying to be around the queen. Oh, okay, Edith. I'll see you whenever you come back. But I know I'm not a good pet parent. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm not. But I have other Sims to focus on. And I don't want to get rid of the cats because, in my opinion, they are so integral to the story. They are their familiars. I don't want to get rid of them. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens when the queen does put two and two together that her daughter and her son are not vampiric. And she already has the suspicions right now. She's like guessing, like, why my children have these eye colors and my other kids have. They're not supposed to have this if they're no longer vampiric. But it begs the question too. Why does Moira still have these eye? Why does Moira still have this eye color? Why does she can have the red eye, but why is it still dark? Um, it just puts a lot of things into perspective, because the darkness probably has not left Moira. I feel like vampires have a natural born darkness within them, which is why they have these. And this is something newly that I've just kind of come up with, but I do believe that they have a darkness within them, which is why they have a dark outer layer within their eyes. And so, Moira has been questioning a lot of things and trying to figure out why her children have these eye colors. And when she does find out, I think she's going to be very upset. And she's going to have to be a strong queen and not sympathize with Jaleesa. She's going to have to remove Jaleesa, I feel, from her council, which is just how the cookie's going to crumble. As sad as that is. But Jaleesa, she's on top of the world right now. She just had her daughter get married. Her son is in a harem, hopefully, who will give the queen a heiress one day. She's hoping that her son will give the queen a child one day, a prince or a princess, just something to carry on her bloodline through the queen. She wants a son to at least have some type of blood within the queen. She knows it's too late now to have an heiress. I mean, if her son does end up, I don't think that she's gloomy. If her son end up having a daughter, I think she'll probably be happy, but it's a little too late now. Considering there's already 3 princesses in the line of succession. We have a princess of Moonstone, we have a princess of Sunstone, and now we have a spare. We have Deianira. Deianira, from what I remember, guys, I do remember in the first season that Queen Orlin raised her first 3 daughters in the council room and made sure that all of her daughters were there listening in on council meetings. And I don't think that Moira is going to shy from that idea either. She's probably going to do the same thing. She always made sure her eldest 3 daughters were in council meetings because her eldest 3 daughters had the potential to become queen. All 3 of them, because they're so high up in the line of succession. So her having a child that's not in the line of her having a kid, right? Her having a granddaughter born from her son, kind of would be meaningless I mean, it wouldn't be totally meaningless because what if Orlin passes from sickness and then Sienna and then Dionera? So it's not all meaningless. It's just, you know, it's kind of the odds are very slim. She'll be happy if her son gives her if her son gives the queen a prince, but she just wants her lineage to pass on. Shalisa is basically her. She only has two kids, and none of her kids have given her children yet, so they are the last of her line. Um, I think that she's more so worried about her own legacy than the Sonneth legacy. If we're going to be honest, I mean, she cares about her own family name passing on, but she's more so worried about her own legacy passing on, her bloodline passing on, whether it be through a boy or a man, through a boy or a female. But yes, that is. Oh my God! Look at like Moira is crazed with taking care of her children. Like it's just annoying. I can't wait till they age up into toddlers. I cannot because good God, it's a lot on my plate. I think that oh my God, Demeter, all of these infants. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. Queen Elodie, this is your wife. How do you not know her? And she left? Guys. Elodie came and then left. I think she wanted to come see her husband one last time. Or not one last time, but she just probably wanted to check up on him. She did love Victor, guys. I do remember her loving her husband. She did love Victor, even though he was annoying to her at times, meddling in business, trying to get Caleb to marry her daughter. I, I remember it all. Like she was a little upset with Victor a lot, but she did love him, and I do remember the affair that she was having with Cyrus. Oh, that was a mess. She wasn't necessarily having an affair. That was her concubine, but she was like basically um, being romantic behind her wife's behind her husband's back when he set clear rules that you know it was a harem law that they cannot have intercourse or anything of that matter outside of harem rules and laws. The queen was kind of the princess. She was a princess at the time. Elodie was a princess at the time, but she was kind of breaking a lot of the harem rules by basically having Cyrus to herself. And Victor never found out about that, I don't think, but he had his suspicions, and I think he kind of knew subconsciously that's what his wife was doing, honestly. But anyway, enough of talking. And look at Joel. This is Dionera's grandfather. This is her grandfather. Interesting. This is Princess Dionera's father, though, the first Princess Dionera. Oh, look at all of this family in here, guys. Anyway, I know this episode has not been a lot of things happening. It's just been more of talking. But I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. My name is Ronald the Simmer, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.